Everyone. It's great to be here. I want to thank Derek Craig for inviting me to be able to do something like this and give acknowledgement to the lands that we are on. So for what I want to start with, we are currently on Agawam and Abenaki lands. These lands belong to these indigenous people who have stewarded it, took care of it, and honored it constantly. And they are still tribes that exist to this day. So with all the myths that go around that they're gone, extinct, and all that, that doesn't exist. We're still here. Especially with many myths that include Taino people. Many myths that include many indigenous people who were almost erased from history and ignored. They wanted to erase us because they knew that they committed genocide against our people. They knew that they brought a lot of bad things to our people. So they tried to erase us and hope that we'd forget. But we didn't. We're still here. And right now, we're still practicing our languages. People said that the Taino language is non-existent. Well, guess what? We have a dictionary now. That's the best part. We have a dictionary now, and it's in Barnes & Noble. It's called Guajia Taino. It's called We Speak Taino, and it was made by the chief of my Yukayeke, Cacique Mukaro. Now, another thing that I also want us to remember is that you guys hold Taino culture with you to this day. How many of you know what a hammock is? That originally comes from the Taino word hamaca, and we were the ones that invented that. How many of you like to go canoeing? That came from us too. We called it canoa. Another thing is, how many of you love barbecues? That came from us too. We called it barbacoa. So a lot of things from Taino culture we have today in our everyday lives. And we don't even know it. That's the greatest part. We don't even know that we have these things in our everyday lives. And it's good, something good to remember, that we carry a lot of mixtures from cultures from all around us, and they're a part of our modern lives, but we don't give enough credit to the people who brought it to us, and unfortunately, who were also stolen from them. With that, I'm going to open with a song called the Four Directions song. How many of you know what the Four Directions are? We got north, south, east, and west. Those are the four directions, and they are very important to us, to our culture, because they teach many medicines for us. The north represents wisdom for us. The south represents the fact that we have to have that childlike innocence. The west represents introspection, and the east represents looking forward. Those are the directions for us, and this is how we understand the medicines and the teachings that we need to have today. The four directions also give us an idea on how we need to move on in our daily lives and how we need to live life as not as an everyday thing, but as a ceremony, as something that is sacred. Because we're given life, and we all know there's only once. We only have it once, so you're not going to repeat this. So we treat life as a sacred ceremony so that people can understand that we only have it once, and that it's something to be treated with respect, and you have to live it on your own ways, on your own terms, to make sure that you live a good one. With that, I will now sing the four directions. areko se miraku no. Areko se miraku no. Pomatun se miraku no. Pomatun se miraku no. O kama guatukan se mi. O kama guatukan se mi. Areko se mi sobaiko. Areko se mi sobaiko. Pomatun se mi sobaiko. Pomatun se mi sobaiko. O kama guatukan se mi. O kama guatukan se mi. Areko baba yokahu. Areko baba yokahu. Pomatun baba yokahu. Pomatun baba yokahu. O kama guatukan se mi. O kama guatukan se mi. Areko bibi atabeira. Areko bibi atabeira. Pomatun bibi atabeira. Pomatun bibi atabeira. Thank you. So this was the Four Directions song, but it also acknowledges the sky, or what we call Baba Yokahu, who is the semi of the sun and who is the one that gives us our crops. Now, it's most common said that he resides in all the mountains in the world, especially in parts like El Yunque in Puerto Rico. How many Caribbeans do we have here? Yes, okay. Now, how many are from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba? There we go. Okay, we have a good number. So it seems that we also have similarities. So in the Caribbean, the Taino tribes, they spread out everywhere throughout the islands. The Dominican Republic was originally called Quisqueya. Puerto Rico was called Boriken. And Cuba was called Cuba. They all had their original names, although when the Spanish came, I'd say 500 years ago, that's a good estimate. When they came, they changed the names. Puerto Rico, they changed it to Richport. Dominican Republic, we have the Dominican Republic. And Cuba, they didn't change that one. They didn't want to change that one. It just suited them well. It was easy. But anyways, so they came and they gave and they understood our rich culture. They understood the culture that we had. And as far as I'm concerned, they tried to wipe us out. But clearly, it goes to show that there are Caribbeans here and there are Taino people here. So remember that you guys are still here and you guys have an opportunity to uphold the traditions that the Spanish tried so hard to wipe out from us. Now, I brought today an instrument, a different instrument. It's called the Mayowakan. These were one of the many instruments the Taino people used in ceremonies. And it has a very close similarity with one of the most well-known animals in Puerto Rico. How many know the coqui? The coqui frog, the one that goes. Well, the Mayowakan has that similar sound. So the Mayowakan was closely related to the frog, and you can see in the lines too, we got the body and the legs of the frog. That's how we made the Mayowakan, and in Mexico, it's called el telponatzli, which is a similar instrument. It's just more defined. They use logs like we do. Of course, there's different types of wood in between Mexico and the Caribbean, but we still had that similar instrument where it made the coqui sound. And they use it too in their ceremonies, in their dances, and etc. And that's another thing to think about. So the indigenous cultures from the South have many, many similarities. Like if you look at the Amazon indigenous and the indigenous in the Caribbean, we use macaw feathers for our headdresses. We use feathers that have color and vibrancy. Now, we also used owl feathers in PR and in other Caribbean islands too. And that was an interesting thing, how cultures spread and they all had similarities. So another thing is that the Taino people were a matriarchal society. We honored the matriarch. That's why we had Atabeira, the cosmic matriarch, the mother of all, Mother Earth. And that was another thing that we kept sacred to us. We honored her and we gave respect to her. And I think that's something that we definitely need to learn from now, because it is definitely something we have to remember. The land that we are on, the land that provides for us, that's how we'll be able to move on, if we start respecting the land that we are on instead of abusing it constantly. So with all that in hand, I hope that this presentation educated you, everyone here. And I hope this is something that you can carry with you and be able to spread. Thank you. Many blessings.